Good evening, all. It's 6 o'clock. I'm going to wait another 30 seconds or so. Thank you for the NPS team for joining me today, and our friends with Reed doing the sign language, and Ms. Z who's doing the closed caption. So thank you all for joining us tonight. I know it won't probably be a ton of attendees because of the time of the year, but we'll get some information out that hopefully you can also share. If you have a question, you can add it to the Q&A, put it up at any time. If it's something that's really individual to only you, then feel free to call the office, one of the administrators or your building principal. All right, so we'll get started just so that we are stay to a timeline, if you will. As we're looking at the end of the school year, we've got 23 days left of school, which is kind of exciting in many ways, but I'm not sure that any of us ever thought we'd get to a countdown. Or maybe we started a countdown in September because it's been such a different year. Really proud of where we are right now in general terms. There's a lot of hiccups to still deal with the remainder of the year, and hiccups that we've been dealing with since. But, you know, we've been open at the elementary level since March 22nd, which is a pretty significant timetable locally, and of course opened for 4 days a week, going way back to September for a special population of students in need of supports. Our COVID numbers, to be quite honest, have been fantastic after the April break. It's a little concerning how good they really are. We're currently at one positive student case outside of school and 2 quarantined students, one at the middle school and one at the JCS. So we have a total of 3 positive or quarantine cases in the district right now. And the Commonwealth just announced first day since June of 2020 with no deaths related to COVID. So literally almost a year. If you think about it, at least 11 months ago was the last time that we had a day that wasn't a reported COVID situation. So hopefully our continuation of attention to detail and the way that we're doing things will get us to the June 17th, which is an early release day. And Jen, correct me if I'm wrong, but the closeout for preschool, is that the day before? Do we? I think it's the 16th. It's usually the day before. So. We'll get those dates out to families in the next few days so that people have calendar of events. In relation to COVID, just as a general update, we continue to push, and we'll have on our site an information starting kind of new, which is that if your child is in fact having some types of symptoms or has been a close contact, we want you to utilize our Google information that will be going out probably tomorrow. And it's just an opportunity for you to keep track of your child if in fact they've been part of a close contact situation, but they only have to be monitored. They don't have to stay home. So that'll be going out soon. And it does really require that we trust you, just like we do during the flu season, where if there's any type of a symptom, please just keep your child at home because that's in their best interest, as well as in the best interest of all the other students and staff in the buildings. The other thing about COVID that's interesting is that as we open up, we're seeing more and more changes to how we do business, specifically in the area of athletics, which really doesn't impact you folks as a school system, but it does impact you with your town leagues and all of that many of you are involved with. And again, they're crossing T's and dotting I's and trying to make sure that they're staying on top of it. And they've also been incredibly responsive to us anytime there's a situation in local athletic sports. I've received direct emails and communication. So thank you for all of those involved with that. This past Saturday was an exciting day in Norton in many ways, depending on how you see things, I guess, since you're the folks that pay the taxes. But we did see our over 3-year plan for a town hall, a senior center, and athletic complex go through. We're very thankful on the school side, but I have to say that I think we're as excited for the town of Norton in general because of those 2 major issues that the municipal side also needed. So there'll be a lot of planning and all of that, both on the municipal side and our side. On top of that, we have the renewable energy and energy efficiency of $12 million that we're going to be spending over the next probably 18 to 28 months in all kinds of everything from carports, solar carports at the schools, to new HVAC systems. 2 of our schools will be getting brand new heating systems, including the Yell, which still has a steam heating system. And believe me, it's not really working right now because our offices are freezing, especially on Monday after the weekend when everything's off. There are a number of other items that I'll be sending out a very specific detailed report to you so that you know. It's going to be an incredibly busy summer for us, and not any less busy, and as important, if not more important, is directly related to your children. We'll be releasing a recovery and acceleration academic plan to families in the coming weeks. It will involve a lot of different options and opportunities. The state has announced $70 million worth of funding available. I don't know how much of that will come to Norton, but we will file for any and all grants that have any kind of money that allow for us to support recovery and acceleration. We'll be working, just a few minutes ago, I actually sent an email to Champions to see if they wanted to potentially partner with us, if the grant's going to allow for that, so that we could have all day support for families if needed at limited to no cost. And of course, Champions is already full for the summer as we speak. And there's a local center that's also closing, is my understanding. And I know that Champions is getting a lot of information and requests for potential more students. So it's going to be a really busy summer. Our concentrated effort around tutoring and support for students beyond our extended school year program, which targeted our special education populations and specialized programs required under their individual education plan. It's going to be, I think we're going to see our buildings a lot fuller with students than we typically do, but that's a good thing. Added to that is during the summer, we will be releasing a recovery and accelerated program for the fall where we extend the school day either in the morning or after hours at no cost to families. So this would be free tutoring, one-on-one and small group. It'll be targeted to students that are struggling, but then it'll become open to all families to use in the district pending the federal stimulus funds coming through. There's an opportunity for parents that are concerned about that, or staff, or even students literally checking themselves in for support. So it's going to be a very comprehensive kind of, if parents want their child to get some extra tutoring, if the teacher thinks extra tutoring would be a good idea, or if the student themselves says, hey, I'd like to have some other skill sets that I don't have right now. That's the way we plan to do it. And those are going to be both in person and online. And that's important for everybody to know. So if we want to do it at 7 o'clock at night from home, we may have that potential as long as we have the bodies, if you will, that are willing to work with students. We're really excited about how that's going to try to come out. And we will be looking not only for our own staff to provide that support, but we'll be also looking for folks in the town of Norton and students who have the skill sets. So potentially if you're a teacher in another district and you want to work as a tutor for Norton Public Schools in the evening, that could absolutely be available online for you this coming fall. So keep that open, if you will, if you're interested in that. Our enrichment program has already been filed. I don't think the closing date has happened yet, but I may be wrong, but there is an elementary enrichment program that's been sent to you and forwarded to you and available. It's a limited cost. And again, we're trying to see how those work and could potentially piggyback with tutoring if available to certain students, because some of those are kind of like camps, if you will, for a week long or 2 weeks long. End of year activities all belong under the direction of the building principals. Things are going to be a little tighter than usual, but we're going to also try to do some things that are return us to some of our traditions, if you will, of doing some things. So some of the things that we're really looking at and have to get some details on from the Board of Health as well as from the state, it revolves around transition. So 5th graders going to this middle school, 3rd graders coming to the Yell. We have to work some of those, some of that information, if you will, through folks above us in order to make sure that it's available. Our senior class will do a building walk, but that building walk, graduation walk, will take place outside of the buildings, not physically inside of the buildings. And there'll be some announcements on that in the near future. The other part that I think is important as we take a look at next year is many of you are starting to think or question, am I going to have the potential for the Learning Academy, the Virtual Learning Academy, or Digital Learning Academy, as we called it in Norton? Right now, the answer to that is no. We will take a look at individual issues if they come up, but we are planning for a full in-person return for the fall. And as you know, vaccinations are currently not required by law, specifically this vaccine. There are bills filed with the legislation, and they do have, some of the bills have the flexibility with medical and or religious, some of them don't. Again, all of this stuff above my pay grade, but I'm sure we'll be the ones that have to implement some of it. But we'll be as flexible under the law as we can. Right now, we're just not seeing a lot of flavor for requiring vaccinations to come back to school. So that's going to be some question marks for some of you, and for some others, you're happy because you want to make your own decisions based upon what you think. Again, the school department will just have to respond to what the regulations are. We don't make them, and I do not see any school committee in the Commonwealth saying, well, you know, we're going to require vaccinations for our students or else you can't come back. I don't know how that would even pass. Okay, questions and answers that you may have, or Vinny, Marty's on from, Mr. Gagan is on from the Yale, Mr. Searcy from the PPS office, Ms. O'Neill, Assistant Superintendent. Trying to think if any of one of my panelists, that gives you kind of the general gist of the folks. If you have questions on the curriculum instruction that we just talked about. Thoughts, Ken, Vinny, Marty, anything that you guys can add to the flavor here of
The only thing I would say with ESY for students with IEPs for summer services, the staff has been, we've made recommendations. We're just waiting for confirmation from staff, both inside and outside the district. And then once that we have those people all set, we'll make schedules and start to work on that. So we are in the process, just so parents know.
the question about DLA and what it would look like if in fact we had something. I think that between Mr. Gagan, myself, and Ms. O'Neill, that we would tell you there would be some significant changes to the program.
Joe, do you mind if I address that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we had sent, I think actually it might have even been yesterday, Monday, the days are kind of blending together at this point, a survey to our DLA families, basically letting them know that as of the end of this school year, the Department of Education has removed all requirements for districts to offer a remote program. However, we do understand that there are families out there that have students that are medically compromised, that this has been a fit for them this year. So we are really looking to see if there are families in that situation that perhaps would prefer a remote model in the fall. And once we have an idea of how many families that actually is, looking to design something that, or see if we can design something that would meet the needs of our families. It's always our goal to keep you here with us in Norton and to meet the needs of your family as best we can. I think our elementary DLA teachers, for the most part, did a fantastic job meeting the needs of their students every day. But it's, you know, it is difficult when they're trying to juggle multiple subject areas and multiple grade levels and almost 50 students in some cases. So I don't know that we can really answer what that would look like if we were to move forward with a remote program for the fall. We're hopeful that we'll have a better idea of the number of families that this would actually impact, and that from there we can kind of look at some options. So that we would have that information, you know, or what we hope to have some information by the end of the year.
Just to back up Ms. O'Neill's comments too, as of today, there are 13 districts in the state that are looking at their own virtual programming. All of them are districts with 4, 5, 6+ thousand students. In other words, one of the biggest issues with our district, and I believe Attleboro is the local district that's looking into it, but it's not a school choice option, you know, in terms of availability, number one. Number two, so you can't just go to another school district under it. Number two, it's all about the numbers. If Mr. Gagan told me that he had 24 4th and 5th graders, maybe we take a look at running a 4th, 5th grade DLA with one teacher and, kind of like a looping curriculum, if you will, almost. But that's tough to do when you get to middle school and high school, because you need a math teacher, an English teacher, science teacher, social studies teacher, a French teacher, so on. Same thing at the high school, chemistry, physics. So it becomes really much more difficult. And that's where the platforms come in. And then you have more of a facilitator support person, if you will. But we're going to keep our options open, of course. We always do. But we're also trying to be kind of, if you will, our budget's built on full return, and we received a 2.5% increase to our budget, which allows us to not have to lay off anyone, but it also keeps our numbers really tight in terms of being able to just hire staff to bring down class sizes and all of that. We're going to be in good shape, but I can't really say that we're going to be in the best shape that we've been in. I think we'll see more once we kind of know what the numbers really do look like at the end.
Absolutely. The only other thing I wanted to mention was intervention for the summer. We are in the process of finalizing our student recommendations for summer intervention at the elementary level. This is different than the extended school year program. This would be a remote virtual program for students in kindergarten that are currently in kindergarten through grade 4 that are having difficulty with either math or ELA, and there would be small group sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays during the week. So families will be hearing from my office this week if your child has been recommended for these intervention programs, either for reading, math, or for both. And we hope that you will consider joining us for those sessions. They are no cost to families. You can really do them from anywhere, whether you're on vacation or your child is at a daycare or a camp or at their grandparents' house, because of the virtual component of it. And really the goal of this program is to help students retain their learning from the school year and continue to progress further so they're ready for the fall. We're also looking at in-person options later in the summer, late August, and those will be building based. So more to come on that as well.
Also, I know that between Jen's office, my office, and Vinnie Cersei's office, we're really taking a look at what our SEL is going to look like for the fall, but also the potential for one of the things we're having a lot of discussions on, to be quite honest, is as we're coming back and you have students that are coming from hybrid and fully returned and fully came back from DLA right now versus students that are transitioning again in the fall, really taking a look at principals doing their due diligence about what the classes look like. We have this wonderful MCAS test that's taking place that, to be quite honest, isn't worth much in terms of diagnostic. I think a lot of our other assessments are what we're going to utilize, plus input not only from families, but also the staff, to take a look at making sure that we're balancing our classes. It's one of the things, as Marty more so probably than anyone, and Jen know, I push the elementary principals to try to balance classes as much as possible, because I think it's important to the climate of the classroom. So we want to have students that are from all abilities within a classroom, not just a classroom that has students that are struggling or students that are, accelerating. That the elementary model is very much an inclusive model, and research is very clear that it works. The other thing too that's really important is if you have a significant concern that you have not yet made clear to the classroom teacher, or as important, the building principal, this would be the time to do it. If you see that anxiety, that depression ish type of topics, if you will, coming up, especially if your child is not on an IEP or a 504, let's not wait until September. There's potentially things and transitions and supports that we could be doing. We do not need, it's always been my philosophy, and I know Vinnie Cersei supports me with this, you do not need to be on a federal contract with this district in order to get support. It's just a matter of being able to have all sides communicating about what it is, agreeing on it, and then having a plan that supports the child. I know that many of that is a struggle with things like healthcare and who pays for it and all of that. Believe me, we're working, we're going to be publishing after July 1st, something called Interface, that actually is a 24/7 available resource to families, where they work through with you about things like your health insurance and what it pays for and doesn't, and finds you the outlet We're really excited about that. We'll be doing some public relations on that soon, so that families can go right onto the website. You don't even have to talk to us. You can go right to the website and it's all confidential. You hit a button and make a phone call and you can get services for you and your family, for students that are enrolled. And to be quite honest, our interface is actually a community interface. It will be available to adults, children, anybody and everybody who is a resident of the town that needs support. I think we only had one question and we've addressed it. If we have nothing else, I'm sorry that it's a quick meeting, but I think there's been so much information that's been going out every Friday from my office on just updates and everybody else's office. If anything, the complaint I'm getting is that you're getting too many emails. We'll try to see if we can do a better job of that over the next few weeks, because we know there's a lot of stuff coming out. Thank you so much, Jen, Marty, anything you guys want to add?
No, I think that covers it. Oh, for JCS families, we are welcoming our 3 principal finalists to visit us tomorrow, which is Wednesday, May 12th. We're welcoming Mr. Eric Bratt. Tomorrow night, we will have a parent forum at 6:30 via Zoom. On Thursday, May 13th, we are welcoming John Marcus, and we will have a parent forum with him at 5:30 on Thursday evening. And then finally, next Tuesday, May 18th, we are welcoming Lisa Robinson, and we will have a Zoom parent forum with her at 6:30. So I hope that you will join us for one of those parent forums if you're able. It's a great way to take a look at these candidates. The screening committee did a fantastic job. So we're excited for the next steps.
Renee, you have a hand up. Does that mean you have a question, or is it just because you hit something? You can put something into the chat.
I just let her talk.
I'll let her talk.
Hi, good evening, guys. I think that may have been one of the kids that did that, so I apologize, but thank you so much for putting this session on.
No worries. It's always good to hear your voice, Renee.
Guys.
Thanks, Renee. Congratulations to you and your team on the town side for all of that work that you've done in making it a one community effort. Okay, we're going to log off. If you see Vinny Searcy over the next 24 hours, congratulate him. His son just graduated from college in 3 years. He's got a ton of leftover money. He's taking me out tomorrow night. He doesn't even know it yet.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
right. Tons of money. Thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations. Another successful story. Another Norton graduate, by the way. His son is a graduate of Norton High School and just graduated yesterday, if I remember correctly.
Yesterday, yep.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
Congrats, Vinny.
You. Have a
Thanks,
good one,
everyone. Have a
everybody.
great night.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.